Yeah, Sounds Your Nose good, man. I mean, I actually remember I had a Green Lantern t-shirt, but I think I lost it or mom threw it out. I swear, shit like this happens all the fucking time. I don't know why. Like, it just fucking does, man. But it is what it is, you know? Like, yeah, so kind of embarrassing, but I have a Green Lantern shirt. Yeah, I was just going through my shit and I realized, oh damn, how many green shirts do I have? And then I checked and oh shit, there it is. Green Lantern shirt, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I probably can't wear it while I'm watching the death battle, but you know that I have it now, right? So we cool? Yeah? We are here with another death battle. This actually took me a while to get to because I was actually doing a ton of other things, but it does not matter what has happened. All that matters is what is happening right now. Now, Simon the Digger versus Kyle Rayner. I don't know who Simon is. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know who Simon is, but I do know Kyle Rayner. I think he's my favorite Green Lantern, only because he's also a White Lantern. Like the idea that this guy literally took every single ring, the blue ring, the red ring, the yellow ring, all the rings, and wore them and didn't fucking explode, that makes him a pretty huge badass. And I think probably the best Green Lantern, because who else be doing it like this? Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart. I know Hal Jordan's probably the most iconic, most recognizable. He's in the most amount of media, I feel like. Isn't it weird how he wasn't in the Justice League animated series? It was Jon Stewart instead, right? But I mean, like, what's the difference between Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan? Like, abilities wise? I don't know. Right? Can someone please tell me? What is the actual difference between Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan? He's just a black one. You know? Correct me if I'm wrong. Right? Because if I am, then I'm kind of fucked. But, you know, like, what is it that Jon Stewart does that Hal Jordan cannot do? Like, see, being a White Lantern is specifically Kyle Rayner's thing. You know what I'm saying? Who else be doing it like him? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just so bad. I don't even like Green Lantern like that much. You know what I'm saying? Because every time I see Green Lantern, he's always making some lame constructs, like a brick wall or a fucking car. Right? Like, bro, come on. Like, you know your technology, your imagination isn't just limited to this world, right? You go to different planets, get some technology from that. Just think about it. Oh my god. How is it that you have your literal imagination weaponized, but you make, like, brick walls and anvils? Like, bro, what are we doing here? Come on. Like I remember in Injustice, one of his throws, he just punches you in the gut and then he drops a ton of like metal bars on your ass. Like, really? Metal bars. What am I in a construction zone? Did I forget my hard hat? Metal bars? Really? Like, that's what really gets me about Green Lantern, that, yo, you have all this power, like limitless power, but then you make the lamest constructs. On top of that, your weakness is the color yellow? What do you mean? If I wear a whole yellow suit, you can't do shit to me? Is that what it is? If I come wearing only yellow, I'm basically invincible to you. I know they may have retconned this, they may have changed it, because that's a pretty lame weakness, if I'm gonna be completely honest, man. I mean, how is your weakness a color, bruh? You know what I'm saying? But, and on top of that, as long as the second he loses his will, he loses his powers, which, I mean, the powers being tied to your emotions kind of suck, doesn't it? Because your emotions change all the time, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you're only human, after all. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone can be a stoic badass like Batman all the time, you know? I mean, that's probably a reason why Batman, he wore the Green Lantern ring at some point. Also, the Yellow Lantern ring. Sinestro Corps, yeah. You gotta admit, he looks sick in either green or yellow. He looks sick. I mean, it's the goddamn Batman, you know? Green Lantern, once again, he's alright, but, like, if he just wasn't, like, making such lame constructs all the time and have lame weaknesses, then I would have fucked with him harder, but, you know. Kyle Rayner is definitely my favorite, just because of the fact that, yo, he's the White Lantern. He's literally all the lanterns combined. How sick is that, right? But Simon the Digger, I have no clue. Yeah, I have no clue. So I'm guessing just off the bat, off of recognition, probably give it to Kyle Rayner, because I don't know who the other guy is. But we're gonna get into it right now, right? We're gonna see the rundown, all that shit, and pretty much now I'm watching this in 1.5 speed, because I watch everything 1.5 speed, because I feel like normal speed is just like too slow for me. I swear to God, I don't know what it is. You're too slow. Like, who do I think I am? The Flash? Okay, we're in this bitch, right? Simon the Digger versus Kyle Rayner. Let's see what's going on. All right, 3, 2, 1. He has to have some sort of Simone. Okay.
Two men born of Earth with a willpower to pierce the heavens and conquer infinity. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Probably have the comparable powers You know?
Deep underground,
Time to find out.
village lived in dreary isolation, oblivious to the wider world above their squalid cave. That's where the hero of our story comes in. The young man who would lead his comrades into
Ooh,
the
who's that? Is that Bleach?
Kamina, the great and mighty. Oh, and his little brother.
No.
Brother Zemo,
Fairy Tale.
was there too, I guess. Zemo
Right?
was a digger, content to drill endlessly through the dirt, until the day he found the core drill. The key that activated the mysterious buried mech that Kamina named Lagan. Under his magnificently masculine leadership, Kamina finally drilled their way to freedom, seeing the sun after a life in the dark. But the sky was by no means.
Dude, that chick got some huge tits, man. Goddamn.
Cruel chimeric beastmen, and Kamina would lead his compatriots against them to reclaim the Earth for humanity, scoring a second mech in the process, aptly named Gurren. And as befits Kamina and Simon's unbreakable brotherly bond, Gurren and Lagan merged, creating Gurren Lagan. With Kamina piloting the body and Simon the head, these two were unstoppable. Of all the giant fighting robots in all the animes across history, Gurren Lagan may just be the absolute coolest, fueled by its pilot's willpower and
mechs are pretty cool though.
Any weapon they can imagine, including missiles, a jetpack, a sunglasses boomerang, and of course, drills, wrist-mounted drills, kunai drills, shield drills, kamehameha.
Because they're diggers, yeah, I get it.
The Giga Drill Bureku! Side note, it is so funny that the only thing they could think of was drills.
Right?
If I made booze or something, my whole personality. With Gurren Lagan's awesome power, Kamina laid waste to enemy forces, liberated human villages, and fomented a rebellion against the Beastmen King, Lord Shinnok. Until Kamina died. Oh, wait, shit, was that supposed to happen? No, and it was all Simon's fault. He let his willpower waver,
Shit.
and his soul brother paid the price.
Uh-oh.
After all, he was just a humble digger.
That's what I'm talking about, right?
Guided solely by the light of Kamina's spirit. So his big...
Like like once again, a slight falter. If you falter even slightly in your resolve or whatever the fuck, you're just gonna die or get people killed. Right? What the fuck?
Bro left him with these final words. Have faith in the Simon who believes in you. Damn.
Damn.
was the one looking up to him the whole time. It was Simon who found Lagan, Simon who pierced the surface, and Simon who would now lead humanity to victory. Especially with his gal pal Nia at his side, who helped pull him out of his rut and kick Lord Genome's ass. But victory only lasted 7 years before the anti-spiral attacked. Unimaginably powerful.
Maybe I should watch this.
The
Goddamn.
anti-spiral feared humanity's potential, what they dubbed the spiral nemesis. Remember how Gurren Lagann runs on fighting spirit? Turns out that's just a manifestation of spiral power.
Fighting gold.
All spiral beings, like humans, have. That's right, the laws of physics run on chutzpah. Just as the spiral turned inward represents endless obsession and madness, the spiral turned outward spins forever into infinity.
Is that JoJo? That's JoJo.
Representation of humanity's
I know that's
evolutionary
JoJo.
potential. Potential Simon would use as he led Team Gurren across
Huge.
the multiverse to
Huge.
the fight to the anti-spiral. And this is when Gurren Lagann gets crazy. Channeling spiral power lets you constantly adapt to threats, no matter how overwhelming. Simon can create portals to different realities and higher dimensions. He can generate force fields, absorb energy attacks, and even merge Gurren Lagann with bigger and stronger machines. Creating the Arc Gurren Lagann, which is strong enough to shatter space and time with a punch. Or the Super Galaxy Gurren Lagann, which can fire lasers that are fast enough to hit, and I quote, all time, space, and dimensions, all within a Planck instant. That's the smallest unit of time physically possible. Meaning,
This is where I check out.
To be moving 4.6 times 10
all these numbers.
power times faster than light.
It's not going in here. I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Well, looks like this wins the award for fastest calculated speed feat in our show's history.
Really?
Congratulations, Gurren
Wow.
Lagann. Move over, SpongeBob. You've been dethroned. Oh, and the guidebook says they hit an innumerable number of enemies across infinite universes. You literally cannot calculate how fast that is. But it wasn't enough to escape the...
Then don't calculate it. You're gonna break my brain, dude.
An attack that imprisoned Simon in his own unique multiverse, forced to experience an infinite number of alternate realities that controlled his mind, permanently arresting him in a dream world. Except...
Like an Omega sanction from Darkline?
Spiral power are just built different, and after being inspired by his bro, Simon absorbed that whole multiverse to escape. What makes this even more impressive is that this labyrinth was 11-dimensional, meaning Simon absorbed a higher dimensional structure several orders of infinity greater than himself. The jump between dimensions is basically infinite. Each new dimension adds a new direction of space that extends infinitely, thus an infinite gap in size and scope. Oh, we're just getting started. Imagine a 2-dimensional drawing interacting with a 3-dimensional person. Okay, that's not too far off from what actually happened. Because when Simon absorbed the multiverse labyrinth, he merged with every alternate universe version of himself, including an alternate universe Simon who was writing his own alternate universe version of Gurren Lagann. And
What?
the author's spiral power made his fictional Simon real, adding another to the mix. Wait, if every human being has spiral power, you're telling me we can all do this shit? This all gave our Simone enough spiral power to form the next step in mecha evolution, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. This is when Gurren Lagann gets actually fucking crazy.
What is even going on?
Missiles that alter probability so they have a 100% chance of hitting you, or tossing galaxies around like frisbees. Sorry, did I say galaxies? I meant universes. Simon's power was so immense that he started generating super spiral space, a higher dimension.
Why is bro
of
naked?
our own universe. With it, Simon turns his thoughts into reality, letting him create his mech and all of its weapons in the first place. Not only does this mean he he no longer needs co-pilots, he can also regenerate any damage done to him or his mech just by willing it back into existence.
Like when Lord Genome used Spiral Power to survive Quantum Breakdown, or the time Nia, now the best wife in the universe, used Spiral
Sweet.
Power to constantly regenerate her body from being erased at the informational level for 7 days straight.
Information in physics is essentially the ones and zeros that make up every possible outcome in reality. Nia literally regenerated from the statistical certainty of her own destruction.
I have Spiral Power whiz. When the fuck is my leg growing back?
When even this was not enough for the anti-spiral, Simone evolved one more time.
Into Super Tankatopa Gurren Lagann!
What now?
Its size
What
is
now?
literally incalculable, and with a drill somehow even larger than that, Simone and his friends shattered the anti-spiral once and for all.
Hey, cruel indifference of the universe. Meet the indomitable human spirit.
Proving Kamna's words prophetic, that Simone's drill is the drill that would pierce the heavens.
With no more worlds left to conquer, Simone chose
Literally, the only thing I can think about when I hear the indomitable human spirit is Rexplode from Invincible. He's a goat.
to wander the earth for the rest of his days in service to others.
Always looking up, for all the lights in the sky are stars, and every star another world of spiral cousins that can live free.
All thanks to a humble digger.
Damn. Humble digger. Humble
The universe is a
digger.
dangerous place.
Goosebumps.
If you find yourself face to face with an interdimensional vampire, alien dictators, or this one really pissed off cat, you know who to call.
The
Dexter, right?
Lantern Corps. They're the Space Fuzz, an intergalactic police force founded billions of years ago by blue leprechaun gods.
And the greatest Green Lantern among them was everyone's favorite, Hal Jordan.
You know him. You love him. You might hate him, but you gotta
Fuck him for
respect
that.
the man with a will.
No. I'm not gonna let that slide, man. That was bullshit. Ben 10's Green Lantern was bullshit. How the shit are you? Okay, Ben has the speed. Okay, Ben's watch, the Omnitrix, it essentially works like a spider sense that protects him, and it transforms into an alien right before Ben is harmed. So he couldn't predict a big pair of fucking scissors. Are you kidding me? That was so whack. That wasn't true. Ben would have destroyed Green Lantern, man. Come on, get out of here. I'm not gonna let that slide, man. I'm not gonna forget about that. Fuck.
As Hal's.
Until the day his will broke.
After his hometown got completely obliterated, Hal lost his mind. He rampaged through the core, killing everyone in his path, and absorbed the...
That's iconic as shit, though, right?
The
Yeah.
literal Green Lantern.
Becoming the Emerald Tyrant, Parallax.
There was only one survivor of Parallax's killing spree, Ganthet. And with what remained of his strength, he gave the last Green Lantern ring in the universe to a human, Kyle Rayner.
So
Sick.
was Kyle picked for his indomitable willpower like Hal was?
He
Nope.
was there. He had no idea what was going on. It feel good being given the most dangerous magical weapon in existence to figure out on your own.
He's just like me for real,
Xander,
honestly.
Daffy Duck, Space Wheat, and a sentient box can master it. What's your excuse, Kyle?
The Green Lantern ring can do anything, fulfilling any wish its user desires as though it were a genie from a lamp.
It lets you fire energy blasts, create force fields, affect...
Make sure I never get my hands on this ring, man. Make sure. I swear to God, the second I get my hands on this ring, it will be a dark day for humanity.
Gravity, turn invisible and intangible, manipulate matter, time travel, warp reality, and erase things from existence.
Think we're exaggerating? Well, consider the time Kyle stretched the very fabric of space to increase the Planck length a billion times over. That's like stretching an inch into a light year.
Lanterns control time and space, letting them fly so fast they can create a Speed Force singularity.
Tapping into the Speed Force requires entering a higher dimension of space, requiring speeds that are not only faster than light, but totally
Wait, hold up. GL can tap the Speed Force? I thought it was only a Flash's thing. The fuck?
unmeasurable. And the rings have an artificial intelligence that operates just as fast, automatically protecting its user from danger.
Like the time that Boozer Kilowog survived being erased from existence by the crisis on Infinite Earth.
The ring is fueled by its user's willpower and limited only by their imagination.
While Hal may have had the greatest willpower in the core, Kyle's imagination is unmatched, probably because he's a comic book artist. And we know from
Sick.
this show,
Sick.
some wild shit.
But the
Oh,
Green
yeah.
Lantern's most recognizable ability is their constructs, Kyle's speciality.
Samurai armor, pirate ships, giant dragons, actual working home computers.
That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Super fighting robots.
That's what I'm fucking talking about. Yo, Kyle Rayner is my guy. Samurai armor, a giant fucking. That's what I'm talking about, right? Not lame bars, construction bars, brick walls like Hal Jordan be doing. That's the shit I'm talking about. I feel like if I had the GL ring, I would just like do shit to myself instead of making like external weapons. I would like give myself like a sick sword or a pair of armor or a giant mech because I can, right? Or maybe I just like give myself like a suit of armor and just like move around like Spider-Man or Invincible, like Superman or Invincible like that, right? Because I can do whatever I want, right? I would mostly just put shit on me, give myself armor and give myself weapons so I can wield it, right? I like this guy. I told you I like Kyle. Once again, I have to say I haven't really seen Kyle in a lot of media. The only thing I know about him is that he's a White Lantern. That's literally it. That he was the guy who absorbed the power of all the lanterns, and then he became the White Lantern. And that to me was really, really sick, right? But I'm only now getting to know this guy. He's just like some random guy who has a really huge imagination because he's a comic book artist. I like this guy. I like him. I already like him. Come on.
familiar.
Kyle can make them strong enough to lift the Spectre, who weighs as much as eternity.
Or
Huh?
put back a 12.3
What does that even mean?
Big Bang. Wait, 0.3? DC's multiverse has 12.3 dimensions? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
The ring's only downside is that it's limited to 24 hours before needing a recharge.
Lame.
It can blow up universes, but it has the battery of an iPhone. Never mind, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Oh,
Yeah.
I'd say Kyle's biggest weakness was Kyle. With great power came no responsibility.
Perhaps a manifestation of Kyle's self-doubt. Any reflection came too late, though, when one of Kyle's villains brutally murdered his girlfriend, Alex, and put her body in a fridge.
I
Oh,
wasn't the only one
shit.
traumatized. This moment was so
Ed
infamous,
Gein
it started
much?
the trope called fridging.
For how female characters are often sacrificed as mere plot devices to further male
Dude, I literally just watched The Amazing Spider-Man 2 last night. And now you're showing me the death of Gwen Stacy? Get off my ass, universe.
character's development.
So it might surprise you that it happened to Kyle again.
Oh,
Kyle
great.
finally got serious. He became a prominent member of the Justice League, faced off against Hal, and even rebuilt the Green Lantern Corps better than ever.
But little did he know, this torchbearer's greatest journey had only just begun.
In order to save Ganthet from an emotional lobotomy, it's a long story, he had to
Huh?
master all the colors of the emotional electromagnetic spectrum.
There are 7 colors, each representing a different emotion. The yellow light of fear lets Kyle manipulate the worst
The power of gay.
horrors in your mind. The more scared you are of him, the stronger he becomes.
Orange light is fueled by bottomless avarice, possessing Kyle to absorb not merely his enemies' attacks, but also their souls.
Red is rage, ripping out Kyle's heart and replacing his blood with napalm, which sounds like it sucks, but it's metal as hell.
Sick as hell. I trusted this, yeah.
And allows Kyle to heal wounds, resist mental domination, and supercharge his ring.
Indigo is compassion, reducing his opponent's will to fight and letting him open portals across space, connecting him to others.
The final one was the sapphire light of love.
Bangin'.
Enemies within crystal matrices and control their minds, but Kyle only mastered it by forgiving himself for Alex's tragic death.
Oh, self-love.
Mastering the purple ring is becoming like a goddamn sexual freak. I'm banging everything and everyone in my vicinity.
I get it. Must be nice. And with their
What'd you say?
Forgiving himself for Alex's tragic death.
Oh, self-love. I get it. Must be nice.
Johnny Bravo
And
makes
with
sense.
Their powers combined. He doesn't just make his enemies taste the rainbow.
The lights of the spectrum merged, and Kyle became a White Lantern, with total control over the power of life.
Wiz, I cannot think of an attack more useless in a death battle than something that makes you live.
Empowered by the physical embodiment of all life in the DC multiverse, Kyle is vastly more powerful than any other Lantern in
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Stronger than hell.
Like, I don't even know this guy, but I can tell that by absorbing all the lanterns, you have to be the strongest lantern. By default, I mean, it just makes sense, you know?
Who could harness the energy of every power battery across the multiverse?
Not only can Kyle instantly heal all wounds, purify corruption, and resurrect the dead, the white light of life is strong enough to go up against threats to all of creation, like the Anti-Monitor.
Okay, so it's not totally useless.
Especially after Kyle visited the Source and acquired the Life Equation.
Oh, not
The
that.
Source code to
That's that shit that Darkseid wants, right? Anti-life equation? So he can destroy our life and, like, recreate or some shit like that?
The Life Equation is mathematical proof that life is worth living.
With it, Kyle can alter all of reality at a whim, even threatening the new gods like Darkseid.
The Life Equation, like its counterpart, the Anti-Life Equation, is a conceptual artifact from a higher realm.
Oh, that's it. Okay, yeah, I get
It's
it.
a platonic realm that is, in a sense, more real than we are.
So it's not a shock that the equation made Kyle too powerful.
He
Oh, shit.
struggled to control it, and it subconsciously manifested a being composed of his fears and anxieties. Oblivion.
Oh,
Kyle's greatest
jeez.
weakness was still himself.
Kyle spent his whole life struggling with the power that the gods granted him, and throughout it all, he always rose to the occasion, carrying the universe on his back.
But ultimately, the only way to stop power from corrupting is to spread it. So Kyle split the Life Equation into pieces to found his second core, the White Lanterns. And
Oh.
together, they shattered Oblivion, destroying the self-doubt that plagued Kyle once and for all.
Not bad for a comic book geek from LA.
And now
Right?
he was the one giving out rings of unlimited power to people who weren't sure if they could command it.
So he told them the truth. You can't teach someone how to use such power. You have to learn yourself, making mistakes along the way.
But with the power of life at their command, there's no end to their journey, only endless beginnings.
That's nice. So, okay, he ends up with Star Sapphire. Wasn't that Hal Jordan's thing? I swear to God, that was Hal Jordan's thing. Yo, Hal, did you just take your girl? The fuck? You gotta get on that, man. But yeah, I mean, I like Kyle. He's hands down my favorite Lantern. I mean, is there any competition? Like, really? He doesn't make lame constructs, right? His weakness is in the color yellow because, I mean, once again, he's mastered all the colors, right? And, I guess the only thing he has that Hal Jordan also has is the self-doubt, right? Which is the opposite of will, doubting yourself, like, oh, I'm gonna do this, versus, oh man, I can't do this. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? But yo, if I got the green ring, yo, like, I'm taking over the world, like, in a couple of hours, man. It's not gonna take that long, you know what I'm saying? You give me a ring that I can do whatever the fuck I want for 24 hours, I mean, bro. Who gonna stop me? Who's actually gonna stop me? You know what I'm saying? I don't care how many times America's gonna quadruple their defense budget. It's not gonna mean shit when I'm in town, boy. Anyways, who's gonna win? Yo, who's gonna win though?
Hey, remember Beerus versus Sailor Galaxia? No? Well, that's because it was taken off YouTube for being too anime. But we've got a solution. It's our own website. That's www.deathbattle.gg. It's like our own private Patreon, with a store for Death Battle merch and a complete Death Battle video archive. It's got episodes that YouTube has banned, blocked, and censored, and there's even more goodies on the way. So check out deathbattle.gg.
Who's gonna actually have no clue who's gonna win though? Honestly,
Right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
actually, who's gonna win? Let me. Honestly, I like Kyle too much. I did feel like it more than Simone. Sorry. Honestly, I don't even know. I mean, see, the problem with power scaling and power scales in general, how people get like mad. Oh my god, Goku could beat anybody. Infection. Like, shut the fuck up, right? Like, the problem with power scaling is that you can't. It's literally not possible because it's literally based on the writers, right? Like, if it's a plot device, I'll make them super strong. If it's a plot device, I'll make them super weak. I'll make someone lose to that. Like, you know, like, like for Injustice, for example. How is it that Harley Quinn can fight Superman? It's because she took some pill.
Want to hear a joke?
Oh, gee, this ought to be something.
Harley Quinn versus Superman.
Right? But that's a video game, but it just depends about, like, the story, really, and the writing. That's why, like, I hate power scaling. And when they bring up all these numbers, it really means nothing. Because at the end of the day, it just depends on what you want. What the outcome that the writers want. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't really... power scaling doesn't really mean shit at the end of the day because... that being said, who's gonna win? I'm just gonna give it to White Lantern, Kyle Rayner, because I just think he's sick. You know, he just like me for real, honestly.
All right, I'm not rusty at all.
Hey dude, Green Lantern Officer Kyle Rayner here. Ring says you've got a Class A galactic super weapon, whatever that is. I'm thinking it's the giant mech. Why don't you hand it over?
Gurren Lagann's mine, officer. Just who the hell do you think you are?
But the mech is also really... He just materialized by freaking Balrog. A vacuum, really.
I'm told I'm bad with authority.
Tell me about it. Four.
That's nothing! My drill will pierce the heavens!
I mean, that mech is pretty strong, man.
Take it over, Gurren Lagann!
Am I gonna give it to Gurren Lagann? Am I really gonna give it?
That's really cool. I'm a digger.
We do the impossible.
See the invisible.
Touch the untouchable.
Break the unbreakable.
If you ain't know,
Now you know!
See, that's the coolest thing, right? Just materialize a giant Superman, right?
I'm Simone the Digger! If there's a wall in my way, I'll smash it down!
I'm still gonna give it to Kyle, honestly. I don't care if he loses. I just like him.
Fighting. Think about your fear of death, your love of your friends, your compassion for me, your hope for the future.
Oh no, not an anime flashback. He's gonna win.
It believes in you.
He's gonna win. Oh no. Because of the anime flashback, he's gonna win.
Super Second Silver Gurren Lagann! My drill is the drill that will transcend the heavens! Giga Drill Free!
Giga or Nick. Come on, Kyle. You got this shit, boy. What is even going on? This is like a freaking LSD trip, man. What is going on? Look at all these colors, man.
the super weapon wasn't your mech.
It was me.
Then, Simone, I'm taking you in brightest day, in blackest night. No evil shall escape
Wait,
my sight.
isn't that the Green Lantern shit?
Worship evil's might.
Beware my power. Green Lantern's light?
Lantern light!
But he's not a Green Lantern, he's a White Lantern. Is there a difference? Oh.
You'd make a good lantern.
Simon of Earth, you have been chosen.
Just who the hell do you think I am?
I had a feeling that mech was too strong.
Sunglasses! When both combatants possess
Besides, he had the anime flashback. The second I saw the anime flashback, it was over. I knew he was gonna win.
unlimited power, it's hard to judge them by our normal standards. Take speed. Simone can hit an infinite number of targets all at once, and Kyle can fly fast enough to surpass the normal concept of speed itself.
When you control space and time, things like strength and speed kind of become irrelevant.
Instead, let's analyze them through a lens more applicable to beings as absurd as Simone and Kyle. Their imagination, their willpower, and their ultimate potential.
First up, imagination. The boundless things they could conjure to use against the other. Both could think of just about anything the other could, like absorbing each each other's attacks, fighting across time, anything.
Simone did have a few attacks that Kyle hasn't encountered, like the probability altering missiles, but it's likely Kyle could adapt considering his ring could protect against existence being erased across the multiverse.
And in general, Kyle's constructs were a lot more creative than Simone's arsenal, which was mostly drills. Though again, nothing Simone couldn't adapt to with, say, his energy absorption. Imagination is a draw.
That leaves the other main factor for both characters, the origin of their unbelievable might, their willpower.
And that's really gonna be the winning factor here. Since
Yeah, he got the anime flashback. He was gonna win.
Whoever's got the stronger willpower wins.
Both can manipulate reality on a multiversal scale with their willpower, but we can use dimensions to roughly calculate a difference. This might sound absurd for most characters, but it's necessary for beings as beyond the pale as Simone and Kyle.
The multiverse labyrinth that Simone absorbed contained 11 spatial dimensions. That's 1.3 dimensions less than the multiverse Kyle's power can threaten.
And remember, each numbered dimension infinitely surpasses the one below it.
Which meant Kyle's willpower was stronger at a base level. However, that doesn't necessarily mean Kyle gets the edge, because if there's one thing both of these guys are known for, it's that they can always get stronger.
So to determine the limits of their willpower, we first need to understand their full potential.
Simone's whole deal with spiral power is how he can constantly evolve to get stronger. So just because Simone starts off weaker doesn't mean he'll stay that way.
Absorbing the multiverse labyrinth required Simone to leapfrog several orders of infinity in an instant. Simone made himself that much stronger through sheer force of will.
More than enough to close the gap with Kyle, especially since spiral power also lets him regenerate his body down to an informational level. Kyle's never destroyed something that thoroughly before.
Without the ability to easily kill Simone, it was only a matter of time before Kyle's ring ran low on charge.
That's also another
Since
thing,
Simone
right?
could likely regenerate for at least a week straight, like Mia did. While Blue Lantern Light could boost Kyle's power, he's never jumped several orders of infinity in strength like Simone has.
And while Kyle could manipulate emotions to reduce Simone's willpower, Simone resisting the labyrinth's mental manipulation meant he could power through anything Kyle threw at him.
Everything, that is, except for the life equation. It originated from a higher level of reality and would have more than even the odds.
Too bad Kyle couldn't control it. It was just as much a detriment to him as an asset, forcing him to relinquish it to keep from destroying reality and himself.
Compare that to Simone, who merged with a version of himself writing a version of Gurren Lagann, and using spiral power to make that fiction into reality.
A pretty similar level of reality to the life equation, and a level of power Simone had no trouble embracing and mastering by the end of his story. No matter how you look at it, Simone might start weaker, but his peak will always transcend Kyle's. Isn't that how all of Simone's battles usually go anyway? That's Gurren Lagann in a nutshell.
Right.
So Simone's incredible potential eclipsed Kyle.
It's anime. What do you expect, man?
Ultimately, greater. Kyle may have embodied life itself, but Simone's unstoppable evolutionary potential would shatter even this lantern's light.
I hope Kyle at least dug the fight, because when it comes to death battle losers, he was a dead ringer.
The winner is Simone the Digger.
Next time on Death
What's next? I remember seeing Wile E. Coyote versus Tom.
Subscribe.
Sick. Wile E. Coyote versus Tom Guy. I'm gonna tune into that because those are goddamn legends we're talking about, you know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that Simone won. Yeah, anime is crazy. I keep on asking myself, what's crazier, anime or comics? It's got to be anime, right? I mean, I don't know what the hell they're smoking in that writer room, but it's definitely not of this earth. You know what I'm saying? Because the shit they come up with, I mean, they have the greatest imagination, more than any Green Lantern, more than any Digger, essentially, right? That's so close to being like, you know, restricted Digger, just a normal Digger. Simon's just a normal Digger. You goddamn. Oh look, this is my Giga Digger. This is my Giga Digger mech machine. Giga Digger mech machine. Oh yeah. I don't know why I'm like this, but regardless, I still think Kyle Rayner is definitely cool as shit. He's a fucking cool guy, right? That's my favorite. If I find a T-shirt that's like Kyle Rayner's, I'll get it because he's probably the only Green Lantern I really fuck with, right? Because I think he's just cool, you know. Like who else be doing it like he be? He started a whole new Lantern Corps, White Lantern. Now I need to get a White Lantern shirt, essentially, right? Yeah. So basically, I'm not gonna rep the Green Lantern Corps. I would. But I'd rather rep the White Lantern Corps because that's like all the corps combined in one, right? So why not just do that, you know? But it did make sense why Simon he would win because his feats, once again, like they just explained, and not to mention the drawback of having to charge your ring. I mean, that's also part of it. So yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised at all that Kyle lost. I'm just glad I got to see it, and I might watch Gurren Lagann. I don't know. It's kind of overwhelming if you ask me. You know, like when you see all these cosmic things, and then you have to explain why I'm so much more powerful than I was before, and I got this power boost and anime flashback, and you know, it was a wrap. The second the anime flashback happened, and I knew for a fact it was over. Second I saw that shit, I'm like, oh, okay, it's over. It's done, right? Because when it comes to plot devices, no one does it better than anime. You can just pull it out of your ass, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, animes, comics, well, technically manga, because that's where it came from. The same thing, you know, just people just putting their ideas on the table, really, that's what it is, right? Sometimes they're good ideas, sometimes they're bad ideas, but they're ideas nonetheless, you know what I'm saying? And there really is no explaining it, which is why I don't like power scaling. I don't like, you know, oh, who could beat who? Like, bro, just someone consistent. I mean, especially when you start calculating the power levels, I mean, at that point, it's redundant. There's no point of doing it because, once again, it depends on the writer. So I really don't give a shit. So who knows? Maybe in another alternate universe, Kyle would win. We actually don't fucking know, right? But they give some pretty good points. The fact that he couldn't handle the anti-life question, I get that. Essentially, Kyle had more weaknesses than Simon, god damn it. But yeah, that's what it is. I got really nothing else to say. That was Gurren Lagann. That was Simon the Digger versus Kyle Rayner. And I can't wait for Wile E. Coyote versus Tomcat. That's gonna be sick because they're just they're icons, you know. Like how you not gonna do that, you know? Tom, yeah, honestly, my boy Tom did nothing wrong. All right, he did nothing wrong. He's just trying to chill half of the time, and that fucking mouse comes and fucks with him. You know what I'm saying? And Wile E. Coyote, I mean, he just wants to eat. You know what I'm saying? Bro's gotta eat. I mean, he's skinny. He needs to bulk up. You know what I'm saying? But he needs that Roadrunner. He needs that little fucker. He doesn't just run away. He also gloats. I think that's where he gets on gets on his nerves. Like, why you fucking rubbing it in my face, right? But on like if I had to tell just right now, I thought who would win. I would probably say Wile E. Coyote because he has so much firepower. Like he's got like rockets and shit, right? Acme material and stuff like that. So I don't know. Maybe I feel like Wile E. Coyote would win, but maybe Tom has some shit that I'm not aware of. You know what I'm saying? They all have Toon Force, so once again, Toon Force to Toon Force is kind of it's gonna be tough. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna see. Except Wile E. Coyote never really killed Roadrunner, and neither did Tom kill Jerry. I don't know, but I'll leave that discussion for the next death battle. At the moment, yep, I am gone. I'm gone. All right, bye.